Alright guys, welcome back. This kind of not my favorite war, but I was busy. I wasn't going to have time. I tried to get my fights in really soon, like after war started, so that I could get it all done, and because I knew I wasn't going to be available. So a little rushed here. I'm actually going to speed up the fights just because some of them were a little ugly and took a little bit too long. Magneto versus Scorpion on Node 20. This was really easy with Magneto, Scorpion's metal champion. Magneto absolutely shredded him here. Combination of this war has some good fights, some bad fights. Some I knew we didn't really have a good option to clear a mini at the beginning. So it just ended up costing me some, like I had to revive up, heal up, which I was willing to do. I was willing to spend some units on energy if I had to clear my stuff early, but that's what I needed to do. And in the process, a few mistakes were made that I did not see. Like I didn't see them coming. So next we've got Thing on Node 4. This one we did with Apocalypse. We actually have 7-star Oversser on the team. He's actually going to do some great work, and I should have trusted him a little bit more, and we'll get to that later on. So Apocalypse is going to do a great job on Thing. We can just parry heavy, keep his rock stacks down, and we're going to go up to a special 2, ideally first to get the concussion on. The concussion plus the heavy attacks with the bleeds are going to keep his rock stacks in check the entire time, and it's pretty easy with Apocalypse here on Node 4, like the reinvigorated Fury, I think it is. So we just don't want to go too close to him for too long. We don't want to give him any regens. Now we got all 4 debuffs up because we got the full power back boosts on. And we're just going to go ahead, refresh the debuffs. We got all 4 of them going. And now we're doing a fair bit of damage here. And we're going to spam special 1. Even with the concussion there, it didn't really give him any more rock stacks. We got to go for a heavy there because he was at 14. We're going to go for a heavy again, try and get him low, and then we can finish with a special 1. Okay, next up on Node 13, Masochism Shuri. Absolutely great placement. I completely didn't realize that Shuri's ability accuracy cannot be modified, even though Apocalypse has 100% purify ability accuracy reduction. So I go in thinking I can auto block, like it can go with my mid comp, like my block break stun. Sorry, and nothing happens. And I can't get any of my debuffs up on Shuri. And now I'm forced just to play Shuri straight up with class disadvantage. And this is not working at all. I did get my concussion and my degen up there. And those stuck. But I was not able to keep up my the rest of my debuffs. Like they didn't stick very often. And I just kept fueling the reinvigorated Fury, and now I have shocks on me. This fight got ugly, and I just was like freaking out that something was going wrong. And I guess it's a really good placement there, and I haven't fought Shuri enough. And there, I know she got unblockable, so I got to back off and wait. And I'm sure if I had to do this again, I would pick somebody else for this fight. But this did not go very well. Again, my concussion got purified there. Didn't work out the way I wanted at all. And I end up taking way too much chip damage on this one. I keep going for specials. They are not helping at all. I just really needed to go with brute force. Just hits and just get the damage in. And I kept going for specials. I probably should have gone for like special 3. But this was just ugly. Ugly. I was freaking out while this was happening, trying to figure out why was I screwing up so badly on this one. And go looking back at it, that's exactly what it is. I didn't read the note, like her abilities properly there. I messed up with a special 2 into the block. She hits me with a combo. I'm almost dead. It's just I was not happy with this one. It's a little embarrassing, but what can you do? It's a learning experience is what we're going to call this one, and we're going to have more than one learning experience in this one. So like when it rains, it pours, and yeah, this is going to suck. Next up is a Havok on Node 22. This one's Hazard Shift, Incinerate, Shock. There was some miscommunication. whoever's going to take it, it didn't work out. I'm like, I got to get through these fights or I'm not going to be able to get my fights done. So I'm going to go in with Apocalypse. Apocalypse can get the Incinerate immunity. I am big boosted to the roof. I got my power back boosts on. Unfortunately, this was not working the way I wanted. I did not need him to throw that special one. And I am going to get hammered here with his plasma damage because of all these special ones. I'm going to get clipped there. This is really unfortunate. Luckily, I finally get a special 2 off, and I'm actually able to do some decent damage on this fight that I did not play it well at the beginning at all. Here, he's nice enough to throw that special 2. We're able to get off a special 1, get all 4 debuffs going on him. I really needed to hit into his block to get the concussion back up, but instead, no, the concussion falls off. Now I'm pretty much screwed. I get off 1 more special just to get as much damage as I can before the plasma damage takes its toll on me. And there we go. We took out more than half of him. We're going to waste potions after potions. We're going to heal up, and then we're going to take him out very quickly. We just needed to get this fight done, so I knew I was going to eat a death. We had a pretty good lead, actually, at the beginning of this one. I missed what happened at the end of the war, but we fell a little bit short, it sounds like, which is unfortunate because we've been having a pretty good season so far. But I really don't think that this necessarily messed us up, but it wasn't a great start on our end. Here we go, Magneto against future Antman. We've done this one a couple times already on node 24. We just have to be careful at the very beginning. There you can see the magnetism had not yet started, and I triggered my Dex, and the Dex triggered the Vigorous Assault, which made him unblockable. So I just had to wait that out, and then I can go in and attack him. I messed up a little bit there at the beginning, and then we go right back into just parry heavies. And you can see that even though I'm triggering buffs because of the magnetism, he is not triggering the regen. And with no regen, he's not unblockable. And we're pretty happy with the way this fight goes. So I'm just going to back off after that special 1. Parry heavy, parry heavy, parry heavy. Go to a special 3, drop it on him, and take him all out. It's pretty solid here. So I'm not too concerned about this one, and I think we have it again for the next war, and we're going to try and do the same thing again. Next up, we got Nimrod on node 32. We've done this with Nebula 1,000 times. Hold block, build to 20 charges, special 2, parry into special 2, 20 shocks into 40 shocks, and he melts. So that is our standard move with Nebula against Nimrod here because he's a robot. Once we get to like 4 or 5 shock charges, his ability accuracy is reduced. Again, what I say always against Nimrod is make sure that you go over 2 bars of power before you do your parry into special 2, because if not, then you're going to lose the ability accuracy reduction, and he's going to potentially special lock you if you try and go parry before you get 2 bars of power. So here we go. We're at 2 bars of power. We have 20 shocks. Parry, special 2, 40 shocks. He's ticking for like 20,000 a tick. Goodbye, melted. Next up, a mistake. So annoying. We have Sam Wilson, which I totally blanked on. I should have brought Doom. He was not banned, and it would have been super easy. But Sam Wilson has an ability that when he has an armor up and you glance, which the chance for glancing is increased by the node, I am going to start taking damage back. So I start off the fight and I'm doing okay. Then all of a sudden you can see all those instant ruptures on me on the left hand side because he's glancing so much. And this becomes a fight of, even if I hit into his block, he's glancing. And I am just taking damage. I should have probably parried more and just parry into hits to try and avoid the glancing. That special 2 didn't help either. I should have stuck with special 3s. And I should have mixed up the way I was fighting, but it was late. This was one of the last few fights I had to do, and I felt so stupid about this because I've made this mistake maybe a season or 2 ago and haven't made it since. And because I'm so used to taking Hulkling when I see a tech champion on this node, node 42, I'm like, oh, sure, easy fight with Hulkling. I forget that Sam Wilson, it's like a trap fight. So don't use Hulkling against Sam Wilson on this node. Use any other shock immune champion. So there you go. It's going to be really stupid. I'm going to get him down to like 3% and I'm going to die. I'm It's really annoying, but it's a learning experience. Don't make the same mistake that I did. I think Doom would be awesome here. 'Cause Doom, you could either get the Fate Seal on him or with the heavies, or you can nullify with the special one. But yeah, this was annoying. I got hit there, and again, that was even worse. Just that one hit, because I'm going to get him down to almost nothing. I'm going to throw that special 2. He's not going to punish me. I'm going to be able to, his armor ups finally drop off. And I get some hits in, and one armor up comes back, 3%, I'm dead. Dead. Could have got through it, even with Hulkling, but messed up at the end. Revived Hulkling with 140% revive, 2 hits, he's done. So, another mistake. So frustrating. Next up, Doom. We're going to use Apocalypse for Doom on node 30. Beautiful fight. So, beautifully, this is a positive fight here. Apocalypse absolutely shredding Doom on this one. We're going to go parry heavies, special 2 to get the concussion up. When he has the concussion up, there's a chance for him not to trigger the aura on his special 1. And we're already Incinerate immune, so if he does throw the special 2 and we happen to get clipped, it's not going to do as much damage because we're not going to take that annoying damage over time from the special 2, but I think we do get some clean evades on this one. We're going to get a nice clean evade on that special 2. Go back in, we got all 4 debuffs on him at this point, so we've got the healing in check. Another special 1, even with the concussion on, and done. That was great. Even with the aura, finished. Next, Overseer for Immortal Abomination on node 40. Great. This was Buffet. Perfect idea with Overseer. Really loved the way he worked for this one. Because he's Nullify immune, he doesn't. It's perfect for Buffet, and we can just go ahead and beat the crap out of Immortal Abomination. No worries. Now, what I should have done is there's a Hulkling next on node 46, which has some very annoying node combinations where you can't use energy attacks or they heal. So, and you don't want to put a poison on Hulkling because he's poison immune, and that's going to fuel him as well. So we don't want to, but there was a Korg there before that I did with Apocalypse, and I'm thinking, okay, if I get to special 2, with also, you can lose power on that fight as well, because there's Burden of Might. If you have a buff on you and it disappears, you're going to lose power. So I figure if I go with a Power Start 1 with Apocalypse against this Hulkling, then I'm going to be able to get to my special 2 just the same way I did with Korg, and get the concussion on, and then it's easy sailing. But no, I could do absolutely nothing against this Hulkling. I go for a couple parry heavies, and I miss my special 2 because I think I triggered that. I lost a bit of, I got power drain there, and I missed my special 2 because I had triggered a buff. And so now I cannot get back to this special 2 because I keep evading his specials. He keeps going unblockable. This was not a good decision for me. So what I should have done is gone with Overseer, and I actually had a piece of paper that said Hulkling use Overseer, and in the heat of the moment I had just done that nice fight with Apocalypse before and against Doom, and I'm like, oh, it's going to work, it's going to be great. I've used it against Korg, but no, horrible decision. If I would have gone in with Overseer, it would have been an easy solo, and I'm just beating myself over the head, annoyed that it did not go as planned. So this is just going to, I sped this fight up because it's annoying. I'm going to time out on this one. I'm not even going to die. I'm going to eventually actually do some decent damage to him, get him almost halfway done, because I started actually playing the only way that I could to do any damage. But it was just extremely frustrating. I wasn't going to, it was just bad. There's nothing else I could say about it. Terrible decision on my end. And I was rushed, but I had Overseer written down. Overseer would have been able to keep his power, all physical damage, no energy damage. I think it would have been a perfect counter to Hulkling on this node. So just, and I end up bringing in Overseer to finish the fight, and you can see how awesome Overseer was for this fight anyways. So it's another minute and a half left of this one, but it's sped up footage. But it's a learning experience. You can't be expected to solo everything. I know we're really pushing for Platinum 1, and it's extremely disappointing to get deaths that you're trying to perform at your best and not have any deaths. But they happen. It's a learning experience. We move on. And at the end of the day, it's a game. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but it is very disappointing. So hopefully you've learned from my mistakes and they've given answers for what I would do instead of these scenarios. So hopefully that helps. And, you know, you learn something from it. And that's really the end of the day. That's what I like to have in my videos. It's so that you can learn something. You know, we can learn together in the chat. Give me some counters, some pointers. Everyone deserves constructive criticism. So here you go. We're going to use Overseer, immune to nullify, and all physical damage. So I think I do get power drain because my dex does disappear. It's not purified. So it either has to drop off you or be purified. So I can still lose power on this, but it's not going to be as bad. Yeah, I get power drained a little bit, but the damage from from Overseer is all physical. He's not healing up from anything. I'm not putting any poisons on him, and I can just do damage. So this was great, and it would have been like the amount of damage I got in such a short period of time could have been an easy solo. So very annoying, but we learned from it and we can fix it for the next time. So hopefully you guys learned something. And again, if you see anything that I could have done differently, if you have any ideas on your own, please, I love some good advice. And there I did get clipped a little bit. And thank you so much. See you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.